So, good morning, class. So, today we will be discussing about statically indeterminate members and thermal stress. So, this will be our last topic for Module 1. So, yung gawin natin next week for Monday, tama ba MWF or ano nga yung schedule? Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, okay? So, during Tuesday, mag-consultation na lang tayo, okay? So, kung meron kayong mga hindi maintindihan doon sa examples natin, i-raise nyo during our consultation next Tuesday in preparation for your long quiz on Thursday. So, mag-prepare na kayo, mag-study na kayo for your long quiz next Thursday, and during Friday, i-discuss natin yung solutions sa inyong long quiz. Kasi week 5, I believe, di ba? Week 5 will be your exam week. And you will have your summative assessment on week 5. So this will be our objectives today: to identify statically indeterminate members and explain why equilibrium equations alone are insufficient to solve them, and to apply compatibility of deformations and equilibrium conditions to analyze simple and indeterminate axial members. So hindi nakasulat dito, but we will also be discussing about thermal deformation and thermal stress. So ma'am, what is a statically indeterminate member? So when the reactive forces or the internal resisting forces over a cross-section exceed the number of independent equations of equilibrium, the structure is called statically indeterminate. So these cases require the use of additional relations that depend on the elastic deformations in the members. Usually, most commonly, malalaman nyo if statically indeterminate member if you have two materials in your body. So, di ba, so far sa mga previous lessons natin, we analyze only one material, right? So, for example, dun sa isang example natin, we analyze a steel rod. And what is the material used there? It is pure steel. Yung iba naman, you can also analyze using pure cast iron. So, for example, we have here a steel rod. And this is applied to a load P. Ano yung reaction nga ng ating material? It will resist the applied load. So kung ganito yung applied load niya, paano magre-resist yung ating material? So for example, i-cut natin dito para ma-reveal yung ating internal force. If you have a compressive load P, paano magre-resist yung ating material? If this is a downward force, ano dapat yung force niya dito? So that it will be in equilibrium. Upward force, right? And dahil isang material lang to, meaning, isa lang rin yung magre-resist na force. So if this is steel, you will have a force. This will be the force of steel that will resist the applied load. So when you say statically indeterminate member, meaning marami na kayong unknowns. So in this case, kapag isa lang yung material natin, isa lang yung unknown natin, right? So statically indeterminate member, it is most common in composite members. So when you say composite, you have two or more materials. So ma'am, anong example niyan? So example, you have a cylinder and your cylinder is made of steel. Makita ba from there? They know? Covering niya is, let's assume this is made of steel. And yung laman ng steel, let's say that is concrete. How many materials do you have? You have two materials. So if you have two materials and it is applied to a load P, ilang force yung magre-resist dun sa load P natin? Dalawa. Kasi you have a force from the concrete and you also have a force from the steel. So, since marami na tayong anodes, meron tayong anode from the force of the concrete and the force of the steel, this is a what? You call this, it is a statically indeterminate member. And when you have a statically indeterminate member, usually you use equations based on their elastic deformation. So, para mas ma-understand nyo, we will have our example agad. So, okay. Example 1, a steel bar 50 mm in diameter and 2 meters long is surrounded by a shell of a cast iron 5 mm thick. So ito lang yung steel bar natin that is 50 mm in diameter and 2 meters long. When you convert 2 meters into mm, that would be 2,000 mm. And it is surrounded by a shell of a cast iron 5 mm thick. So parang yung covering niya daw is made of cast iron. Tapos yung laman ng cylinder na yan is made of steel. So compute the load that will compress the combined bar a total of 0.0 mm in the length of 2 meters. So for steel, you have E equals 200 GPa and for cast iron, E equals 100 GPa. Ano nga yung E natin? The modulus of elasticity, correct? So, what are our given values? First muna, why is this a statically indeterminate member? Kasi may dalawang materials. So because it's a composite axial member, meaning may dalawang materials, a steel core inside a cast iron tube carrying one load P, it is a statically indeterminate member. So the unknown internal forces are the load shares in each material, yung force from the steel, and force from the cast iron. So bale yung applied force mo na P, yung nasa taas, paghahatian yan ng ating steel tsaka ng ating cast iron. Nagets ba yon? Nagets ba? So yung given natin, meron daw tayong deformation na 0.8 mm. So yung 0.8 mm, what does that imply? Will this compress or will this elongate? Meaning this will compress by 0.8 mm. So do you agree na kung ano yung kinompress ng ating cast iron, yun din yung kinompress ng ating steel? Meaning, the deformation of the cast iron is equal to the deformation of the steel, which is 0.8 mm. Imagine nyo, kapag kinompress ito, meaning bababa siya ng 0.8, sabay ba silang magko-compress? Yes, right? Sabay silang magko-compress. So therefore, the deformation of the cast iron is 0.8 and the deformation of the steel is also 0.8. And we have the modulus of elasticity of 200 for steel and 100 GPa for cast iron. Do you know how to convert GPa to MPa? So when you have GPA, times 1,000 nyo lang. So to convert this to MPa, that would be 200,000 MPa, and this would be 100,000 MPa. So yan yung in-explain natin kanina, na yung deformation, yung total deformation natin is equal sa deformation ng cast iron tsaka sa deformation ng steel, which is 0.8 mm. Sige, para mas maintindihan nyo, let's say, yung outer side ng stand na to is cast iron. Tapos itong nasa loob is steel. Kapag tinulang mo siya ng paganyan, sabay silang bababa, right? So meaning, kung bumaba ito na, for example, let's say 1 meter, yung sa labas, yung sa loob is bababa rin na 1 meter. Kasi hindi naman yan yung outer covering ng bababa, tapos magsistay lang sa taas yung inner nyo, di ba? So therefore, that's why yung deformation ng cast iron is equal sa deformation ng steel, which is 0.8 mm. Yan yung given natin kanina. So let's solve first for the deformation of the cast iron. From our previous topics, ano nga yung ulit yung formula ng ating deformation? Recall nyo, what is the formula of our deformation? Dalawa yon. First, yung diniscuss natin sa normal strain. Tsaka second, yung last na diniscuss natin sa axial deformation. You have, di ba, first, you have the strain equals deformation over original length. Tsaka yung pangalawa, you have the deformation equals PL over AE. Ang tanong, anong gagamitin natin na formula sa dalawa? Let's look at, so for you to identify anong gagamitin yung formula, you look at the given values. So if yung gagamitin yung formula is yung sa normal strain, ang tanong is meron ba kayong given na strain? Wala. So ano na lang yung natitirang choice natin? It is to use the PL over AE. May P ka ba? Wala, pero pwede nating hanapin. May L ka ba? Meron. May area ka ba? Meron din. May modulus of elasticity ba? Meron. Meron ding deformation. So if ilista nyo yung lahat yung given, yung missing na lang dyan is yung P. So therefore, if i-direct substitute nyo, makukuha nyo yung P. So the formula we will be using is deformation equals PL over AE. So our deformation, that is 0.8 mm. So since yung ginamit natin na deformation unit is mm, meaning yung length natin dyan, tsaka yung area should be also in terms of mm. And because mm nga siya, ano dapat yung unit ng ating modulus of elasticity? It should be in MPa, kasi yung MPa is in Newton per mm squared. So what is our P? Wala tayong P, right? So that would be our force of the cast iron. And then what is the length of our cast iron? The length is 2,000. Follow ba? Nakuha nyo? Bakit 2,000 yung length? And our area of the cast iron, that is pi over 4 times 60 squared minus 50 squared. So ma'am, bakit ganyan yung area natin? Sulat ko sa board, okay? Yung shell is yung cast iron, di ba? Tapos ito is steel. Yung outer diameter mo daw is 60. Tapos yung inner diameter is 50. Can you still recall what is the formula of area of a circle? Pi over 4 d squared. Yung cast iron natin, yung nasa labas. So can we say that the area of our cast iron is pi over 4 times 60 squared? No. Kasi kapag ito yung ginamit mo, meaning ang area niyan is itong buong circle. Gets ba? So ano lang ba yung cast iron natin? Ito lang. Itong area na to, right? Therefore, yung gawin natin is dapat yung area ng buong circle minus yung area ng smaller circle, which is yung steel. So that would be yung area ng ating cast iron. So mali ito. So that would be pi over 4. Ano yung area ng ating buong circle? That is pi over 4 times 60 squared. Minus, ano yung area ng ating smaller circle or yung area ng steel? Pi over 4 times 50 squared. So dyan galing yung area natin. So balik doon sa PowerPoint, nilabas niya lang yung pi over 4 times 60 squared minus 50 squared. Kasi pwede mo naman yan i-multiply, right? Na pi over 4 times 60 squared minus pi over 4 times 50 squared. And then what is the modulus of elasticity of the cast iron? 100,000 MPa. Again, hindi nyo pwedeng gamitin yung GPa kasi kapag ginamit nyo yung GPa, hindi na uniform yung inyong units, therefore magkakamali kayo sa inyong final answer. So kapag i-shift solve nyo, what is the area or what is the force rather of our cast iron? Check nyo na lang, pakilabas yung calculators please para maka-follow kayo. Kasi sa exam nyo, gagamit kayo ng calculator. So as much as possible, you practice how to shift solve. So paki-verify na lang if same tayo ng answer. Our force of the cast iron is 11,000 pi newtons. So newtons yung unit kasi yung ginamit natin sa modulus of elasticity is MPa, which is Newton per mm squared. Kaya Newton yung kanyang unit. So for the deformation of the steel, we use PL over AE again. And then ilan yung deformation ng ating steel? Diba equal yung deformation ng cast iron sa deformation ng steel? So if yung deformation ng cast iron is 0.8, yung deformation ng ating steel is also 0.8. And then, wala tayong given na force ng steel, yan yung hinahanap natin. And then what is our length? Our length is 2,000 mm. How about our area? If kanina we used pi over 4 times 60 squared minus 50 squared sa cast iron, sa steel naman, ano yung area? Pi over 4 times 50 squared. Correct. Kasi yung steel natin is yung inner circle. And then we have a modulus of elasticity of 200,000. The force of our steel would be 50,000 pi Newton. Ano nga ulit yung hinahanap natin sa problem? That is pakita ko na lang yung first slide ha, tapos picturean niyo na lang. Yung hinahanap is compute the load that will compress the combined bar. So yung hinahanap is yung total force. So if may force na tayo ng cast iron, tsaka may force na tayo ng steel, paano natin makukuha yung ating total force? Based from the concept na pinaghahatian ng cast iron tsaka steel yung inyong force P. We can do summation of forces vertical. So, meron tayong force P na pababa. And then, meron tayong pataas na force ng cast iron, tsaka pataas rin na force ng steel. Bakit na pataas? Kasi kailangan niyang i-resist yung pababa na force. So if you have P, so meaning that would be P equals to the force of the cast iron plus the force of the steel. So ilan yon? You just substitute. You have 11,000 pi plus 50,000 pi, or you will get 60,000 pi newtons. And if convert nyo into decimal form, that would be 191.64 kilonewtons. Na-try niyo ba sa calculator? Sige, absorb niyo muna yung information and let me know if there are any questions. So if there are no questions, let's proceed to the next example. So example 2, a steel cylinder with 300 mm outside diameter and wall thickness of 20 mm. Yung outside diameter raw natin, ito, is 300 mm. Tapos, yung wall thickness, ito, since ito yung wall ng sa ating cylinder, the thickness of that is 20 mm. It is filled with concrete. So if it is filled with concrete, ano yung ating outside covering? It is made of steel. Tapos yung nasa loob is made of concrete. So is it a statically indeterminate member? Yes, because it is a composite axial member. So it is used as a pier to support an axial load in compression. Ito yung ating axial load. It is in compression again because kino-compress niya yung ating material. So if the allowable stresses are 140 MPa for steel and 12 MPa for concrete, and if the modulus of elasticity for steel is 200 GPa and for concrete is 19.2 GPa, what is the allowable load for the pier? So ito lang yung hinahanap natin, yung force P. Ano ba yung forces again na magre-resist sa force P na to? That is, meron tayo pataas, right? Ilang forces yung magre-resist na pataas? Dalawa. The other force is from the concrete and the other force is from the steel. So yung compatibility, yan yung equation ng ating deformation. So same lang yung concept kanina, same lang yung deformation ng ating steel tsaka concrete kapag sabay mo siyang i-compress. That's why yung nakasulat dyan is that the deformation of the steel is equal to the deformation of the concrete. Bali yan yung parang side view ng ating cylinder ha. And then yan yung ating forces, yung resisting forces natin, which is the force from the concrete and the force from the steel. Therefore, kagaya pa rin kanina na example, our total force P would be the force from the concrete plus the force from the steel. So from static equilibrium, summation of forces vertical ka lang, that would be P is equal to PC plus PS. So if hindi nyo mag-gets kung paano nag-arrive dyan yung equation, isulat ko na lang sa board. Summation forces vertical ka, ano yung gusto mo i-assume? Assume na lang natin na upward is positive. So, ano yung positive natin? You have positive PC, kasi pataas, plus PS. And then yung P is pababa, so it is negative P. So, yung summation forces vertical mo lang, it should be equal to 0. So, kapag nilipat mo yung P sa kabila, dito, that would become P is equal to PC plus PS. Okay, so ito lang yung given natin kanina. Meron tayong modulus of elasticity ng steel tsaka ng concrete. Tapos yung allowable stress ng ating concrete is 12 MPa. And yung allowable stress ng ating steel is 140 MPa. So solution again is P equals PC plus PS. And then that would be stress times area. I know it is confusing. Paano naging stress times area? Meron tayong PC plus. What is the formula of our stress? Stress is P over A. So if you derive mo from here, if we cross multiply mo yan, that would be P is equal to stress times area. Gets ba? Therefore, if meron tayong force from the concrete, dapat stress times area yung force, di ba? Pero since this is force from the concrete, dapat yung stress natin is sa concrete and then yung area natin is sa concrete also. And if sa steel naman, dapat yung stress is from the steel and yung area is from the steel. You take note of that, ha? So let's solve for the area of the concrete. So that is pi over 4 times 260 squared. So ma'am, bakit 260? Bakit hindi 300? Kasi yung concrete natin is yung inner circle. Therefore, we use the inner diameter. That would be 53,092.92 mm squared. And yung area naman ng ating steel is pi over 4 times 300 squared minus 260 squared. That means yung total area ng inyong bigger circle, i-minus nyo lang sa area ng inyong inner circle. You will get 17,592.92. So therefore, we have stress of concrete times yung area ng concrete na i-substitute nyo lang plus the stress of the steel times area of the steel. So you may wonder why. Ma'am, may given naman tayo na stress ng concrete na 12 tsaka stress ng steel na 140. Therefore, yung P ba natin is i-substitute lang natin yung given na stresses times yung na-solve natin na area. The answer is no. You can only do that kapag same material. And kapag hindi kasi same material, hindi naman sabay magfe-fail yung inyong steel and concrete. So you can only do that, yung i-substitute nyo lahat, kapag sabay sila magfe-fail. So what I mean is kapag masyado na tong na-compress, do you agree na may isang material na mas unang magfe-fail? So let's say, magbe-break siya. So it can be una ba magbe-break yung steel or una magbe-break yung concrete natin. Hindi sila sabay magfe-fail, therefore, you cannot just substitute 12 here and substitute 140 there. Kasi kapag ginawa mo yun, yung assumption mo is sabay sila nag-fail, which is wrong. Kasi yung capacity ng ating concrete, 12 lang eh. Tapos yung capacity ng ating steel is 140. Hindi sila same ng capacity. Therefore, mas may una talaga sa kanila na magfe-fail. So from compatibility, again, deformation of the steel is equal to deformation of the concrete. Ano yung gagamitin na formula? Pwede ba natin gamitin yung strain is equal to deformation over length? No, kasi walang given na strain. So yung gagamitin natin is yung PL over AE. So ma'am, paano naging ganyan ulit? Over A lang yan ulit ha? So therefore, you can write it as stress times length over E. Kasi ito, P over A rin to. That would be equal to stress times length over E. Nakuha ba? So if nakuha, let's proceed. So substitute niyo lang yung E ng inyong steel tsaka concrete. Again, hindi nyo pwedeng i-substitute ng sabay yung inyong stress kasi hindi naman sila sabay mag-fail. So, doing cross multiplication, you will get stress of steel is equal to 200 stress of concrete times 19.2. Marunong na ba lahat mag-cross multiply? Okay. Cross multiply nilang yan ha. So now, pwede tayong gumawa ng assumption if una ba magfe-fail yung concrete or una magfe-fail yung steel. So let's say we assume that the allowable stress in concrete of 12 MPa is reached first. So meaning assume natin na una magfe-fail yung ating concrete. So you get stress of the steel. So if you assume mo na una magfe-fail yung concrete, pwede mo nang i-substitute yung stress ng concrete sa iyong given na formula. So that would be 200 times 12 over 19.2. You will get 125 MPa. Ano yung stress ng ating steel? Na capacity, yung allowable capacity niya? 140. Tapos, based from our formula na inassume natin na unang nag-fail yung ating concrete, ano yung nakuha nating stress ng steel? That is 125. Is 125 greater than or less than yung capacity na 140? It is less than. Therefore, is it safe or not? Nakasulat naman dyan. Therefore, it is safe. But let's say yung nakuha nyo na stress ng steel is 160. Safe pa rin ba yun? No, kasi lumagpas na siya sa kanyang allowable capacity na 140. So if we have that, pwede nating i-substitute. That would be 12. You can substitute that 12 since inassume mo nga na unang nag-fail yung concrete and your assumption is correct kasi naging safe yung ating steel. So that would be 12 times 53,092 plus 125 yung na-solve natin from the compatibility equation times 17,592. You will get 2,836.23. So ipakita ko naman sa inyo ano yung magiging sagot kapag inassume nyo na unang nag-fail yung steel. So let's assume na unang nag-fail yung inyong steel. So if unang nag-fail yung inyong steel, substitute mo yung stress ng steel, which is, yan yun, 140, tama ba? 140 equals 200 stress of concrete over 19.2. So ilan yung makukuha yung stress ng concrete? That is 13.44 MPa. Is this safe? Is this safe based from our given? No, it is not safe. Kasi based sa given natin, ilan yung capacity lang ng ating concrete? That is 12. So, mobra na siya sa 12, right? Therefore, you cannot use this. So, if mali yung assumption nyo na unang nag-fail si steel, isolve nyo na naman na nag-fail na naman si concrete. And then you will get the correct answer. Any questions before we proceed to the next topic? No? Sige. For our next topic, let's look at this picture. What do you see? Ano yan? Yung rails ng ating, yung track rails ng ating train, right? Pag zoom in mo, parang ganito siya. Anong makikita nyo sa picture? Meron siyang, anong makikita nyo dito? Meron siyang gap, right? Yung steel, merong gap. So ma'am, bakit kailangan lagyan ng gap? So our question would be, why is there a gap? So there is a gap because steel, it expands in hot weather and contracts in cold weather. So kapag masyado raw mainit, nag-e-expand yung ating steel. Tapos kapag masyado namang malamig is nagko-contract siya. So that's why you see the small gaps. That's what you call the expansion joints between rails. Because without them, the rails would bend or buckle when they expand. Another example is, familiar ba to? Ano yung parang steel? Ito. That's what you call the expansion joints. So bridges and long concrete roads have visible expansion joints. So these are intentional gaps to allow expansion and contraction of materials due to temperature changes preventing cracks or warping. Kasi kapag masyadong mainit, kasi yung road natin exposed siya sa weather, right? Umuulan, umiinit, lumalamig, Therefore, kapag palaging ganun na walang expansion joint, eventually, magka-crack siya or what you call warping. So yung warping is parang ganito siya. Familiar, no? Marami tayong ganyan dito kasi wala tayong expansion joints. So that's what you call your thermal deformation. Kasi from your weather affects your material, it will deform. So temperature changes causes the body to expand or contract. The amount delta T or deformation due to temperature, the formula would be your coefficient of thermal expansion, yang parang A, times the length times the final temperature minus initial temperature. Or you can write it as coefficient of thermal expansion times length times change in temperature. Kung ako sa inyo, para mas madali niyo siyang ma-memorize, yung i-memorize niyo dyan is yung nakasulat na final formula. Kapag binasa niyo, paano niyo yan babasahin? Alat, right? And then, substitute niyo lang yung change in temperature, meaning final temperature minus initial temperature. So yung unit ng ating coefficient of thermal expansion is in meter per meter degree Celsius. And length is in meter, and TI and TF, or our temperature, are in degree Celsius. So yung length nyo, pwede namang in mm as long as yung deformation nyo is also in mm. So if yung deformation nyo is in meters, dapat yung length nyo is also in meters. So let's have our example. An aluminum power line cable is 100 meters long at 25 degrees Celsius. During a hot summer day, the temperature rises to 45 degrees Celsius. How much longer will the cable become? Coefficient of linear expansion of aluminum is 23 times 10 raised to negative 6. Bali yan, per degree Celsius yan ha, per degree Celsius. Bali na-cancel kasi meter per meter degree Celsius yun, right? Bali parang na-cancel lang yung meter over meter. Ano yung given natin? We have a length of 100 meters. And then yung initial temperature na 25. And then ano yung final temperature? That is 45. So, hindi nyo naman siguro ma-exchange yan, right? Kasi sabi sa problem, the temperature rise to 45 degrees Celsius. Therefore, yung 45 mo is yung final temperature. Ano pa yung given? We have the coefficient of thermal expansion. And then ano yung hinahanap natin? The new length of the cable. So, paano natin i-approach yung ating problem? How do we get the new length of the cable? If may original length tayo na 100 meters, ano yung i-add mo sa original length para makuha yung new length? Diba? Kapag masyado siyang nainitan, anong mangyayari sa material? Mag-expand. If there is an expansion, merong deformation. So we can use the formula of the deformation due to temperature. So what is our deformation due to temperature? Alat, or AL times TF minus TI. Why can't we use PL over AE? Or yung strain equals deformation over original length? Kasi may involved na temperature. And kapag may involved na temperature, you use the deformation due to temperature. So direct substitution lang. So A is 23 times 10 raised to negative 6. And then we have a length of 100 meters. Final temperature of 45 minus 25. We get 0.046 meters of deformation. So bakit in meters yung ating deformation dyan? Kasi yung length natin is in meters also. So if yung length nyo is in mm, let's say you write it as 100,000 mm. Yung deformation na unit nyo is maging ano din? Maging mm. So yung new length is yung original length nyo na 100 plus the deformation of 0.046, yung new length nyo maging 100.046 meters. Pa ba? Sige. If walang questions, let's proceed to thermal stress. So if temperature deformation is permitted to occur freely, no load or stress will be induced, blah, blah, blah. Mahirap intindihin, right? Yung first paragraph. So break down ko na siya para sa inyo. That first paragraph just means that when a material heats up or cools down, it expands or contracts. So kapag masyadong mainit, yung material nyo nag-expand. Tapos kapag masyadong malamig naman, yung material nyo nag-contract. So if the material is free to move, then it just changes size without developing any stress. But if it is restricted and cannot expand or contract, then the material develops internal stress, and that's what you call the thermal stress. So explain ko yung concept ha. Example, may steel rod tayo na ganyan na nakahang vertically. Tapos may load ka na P. Yung end na to, is it restrained or not? No. Kasi kapag nag-elongate siya, free to move lang siya, right? As well as this type of figure. It is free to move. Therefore, may stress or wala? Example, compare nyo lang sa tao. Kapag free to move ka, nakaka-experience ka ba ng stress? So kapag, if the material is free to move, your stress would be approximately 0. Pero kapag restrained naman siya, let's say, ganito, pero may restraint siya dito, tapos, let's say, nainitan siya ng araw. Kapag nainitan, ano yung mangyayari sa material? Mag-expand. So, possibly, ito, magpupumilit siya, mag-expand here. If nagpumilit siya, may ma-experience ba siya na stress? Meron. So, our stress here would be not equal to 0. Compare nyo lang ulit sa tao. Kapag pinilit kayo na gawin yung isang bagay, mas stress pa kayo. Yes, right? Same lang yan sa ating material. Na kapag may restraint siya dito, tapos it will expand or it will contract, it will elongate, meron siyang stress. So basically, free expansion, that is no stress experience, and then restricted expansion, it will develop thermal stress. So example, on a hot day, steel railway tracks expand, kagaya nung pinakita kong picture kanina. If there are no gaps left between the rails, the expansion is restricted. Kapag wala yung gap na pinakita ko, yung expansion niya, restricted. Therefore, if restricted siya, meron siyang thermal stress. So this will be our last example. Steel railroad rails 10 meters long are laid with a clearance of 3 mm at a temperature of 15 degrees Celsius. The modulus of elasticity is 200 GPa and the coefficient of linear expansion is 11.7 times 10 raised to negative 6 per degree Celsius. First question, at what temperature will the rails just touch? And then second question, determine the stress in the rails at 65 degrees Celsius. Ano yung given natin? For example, ito yung ground mo, meron ka steel rails. Imagine nyo na lang na yan yung steel rails mo. That is 10 meters long, or in mm, that would be 10,000 mm. And then meron daw clearance na, ilan yung clearance natin? 3 mm at a temperature of 15 degree Celsius. So yan 3 mm mo, ganyan yung clearance niya kapag yung temperature is 15 degrees Celsius. So let's say for example, nag-increase yung temperature mo ng 20. Anong nangyayari kapag nag-i-increase yung temperature? Nag-e-expand yung material. So while nag-i-increase yung temperature mo, if let's say ito yung steel rail, meaning kapag umiinit, nag-e-expand din siya until such time na mag-touch siya sa kabilang rail. Na-imagine nyo ba? So while umiinit, mas nag-e-expand siya, mas nag-e-expand, mas nag-e-expand, until such time na mag-touch siya dito. So yan yung question number 1. At what temperature will the rails just touch? So nung nag-touch na siya dito, ano raw yung temperature niya? So question, kapag nag-touch lang siya dito, nakaka-experience ba siya ng stress? Nag-touch lang siya. Imagine yung kamay nyo, ganyan nyo. May ma-experience ba kayong, parang may ma-feel ba kayong stress? No, right? Compared sa parang ipilit nyo siya, ipilit nyo na ganyan. Meron na siyang stress. So if nag-touch lang yung rails, our stress would be approximately 0. Meron tayong steel rails, and ito yung given natin. The question is at what temperature? So kapag uminit, mag-expand siya until such time na nag-touch na yung ating steel rails. Ano yung ibang given natin? Meron tayong length na 10 meters. Yung deformation due to temperature is 3 mm. Kasi yan yung, so bakit 3 mm? Do you agree na, di ba yung previous image natin kanina, may space siya dito, tapos may space siya dito. Paano ba yung expansion niya? At one side lang ba? Two sides. Tapos ito, mag-expand din siya ng paganon. So if meron kang steel rail dito, ano yung in-expand niya dito na side? That is 1.5. 1.5 lang, kasi ito, katabi niya, nag-expand din ng 1.5. Tapos ito, meron ka rin 1.5, 1.5. Therefore, if you add 1.5 plus 1.5, that would be 3 mm. Our initial temperature is 15 degrees Celsius, and then we have a modulus of elasticity of 200,000 MPa. Our coefficient of linear expansion is 11.7 times 10 raised to negative 6. And ano yung hinahanap natin? The final temperature, correct. So what formula will we use? ALAT. So that would be AL times change in temperature, or final temperature minus initial temperature. May given na ba tayong values niyan? Yes. So that would be 3 mm is equal to 11.7 times 10 raised to negative 6 times 10,000. Bakit 10,000? Bakit hindi 10 meters? Kasi yung deformation mo in terms of mm times the final temperature minus initial temperature of 15 degrees Celsius. If i-shift solve nyo sa inyong calculators, you will get a final temperature of 40.64 degrees. Naka-follow? So kapag nagsasolve kayo ha, importanteng isulat nyo yung given, tsaka yung required, tapos imagine nyo yung problem. Tapos isulat nyo yung mga pwede nyong gamiting formulas. Kasi kapag di ba, meron tayong deformation. So, pwede mo isulat na meron kang strain equals deformation over length, meron ka ring PL over AE, tsaka meron ka ring alat, tapos i-identify mo from there ano yung pwede mong gamitin. Hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yung formula sa strain kasi walang given na strain. Tapos, if PL over AE naman, wala ring given na area, tsaka force P. So second question is determine the stress in the rails at 65 degree Celsius. So ano yung temperature natin kanina nung nag-touch lang siya? 40.64. So meaning kapag 65 degrees Celsius na siya, imagine nyo ulit ganito yung kamay nyo. Diba? If 65 degrees Celsius na siya, mas mag-push na siya towards each other. And kapag masyado siyang nag-push towards each other, maka-feel ka na ng stress. That's why merong stress if the temperature is 65 degree Celsius. So example, yan yung steel rails mo. Kapag nag-touch lang siya, the temperature is 40.64. Kapag sumobra na sa 40.64, ang nangyayari is nagtetend na mag-push towards each other yung rails mo. Pag ganyan. Right? So yan yung given natin. Tapos yung required is the stress at 65 degree Celsius. Ito ulit yung ating formula. And then, may stress ba tayo dyan? Wala, di ba? Paano natin makukuha yung stress? We derive. So if i-derive natin, ano yung deformation natin na formula? We can use PL over AE equal to alat. And then, kagaya sa ginawa natin kanina, ano yung P over A? That is, pwede mo yung i-separate, di ba? That would be P over A times L over E. Then yung P over A natin is the stress times L over E. So meron ka ng stress. So would it be possible to solve our stress already? Yes, kasi meron ka ng stress sa iyong formula. Pero meron ba tayong makakancel dyan? Kasi meron kang length sa left side, tsaka meron kang length sa right side, pwede mo niyang i-cancel yung length natin. So that would be stress over E times coefficient of thermal expansion times change in temperature. So cross-multiplying, you will get stress equals modulus of elasticity times coefficient times change in temperature. Naka-follow ba sa pag-derive ng formula? Okay. So, pwede na ba tayong mag-substitute? Yes. So, what is our E? That is 200,000 MPa. Our coefficient of thermal expansion, that is 11.7 times 10 raised to negative 6. The final temperature raw is final minus initial, that is 65 minus 15. We will get 117 MPa. 117 is our wrong answer. Bakit? Bakit mali yun? Balik natin. What do you think is wrong with our equation? Yung temperature. Ano ba yung mali sa temperature niyo? The question is, kailan ba nag-start na magkaroon ng stress yung ating material? Nung nag-touch siya, right? That is, ilan yung initial? That is 40.64. So you should use the initial temperature of 40.64. You will get 57 MPa, and that would be our final answer. Post ko rin to sa Blackboard later. Any questions? So that is the last topic for Module 1 again. Next week, meron tayong 3 sessions. Yung first session, we will be having a consultation. So pwede nyong i-review yung ating mga examples. Tapos kapag may questions kayo, i-raise nyo dito sa class. Next Tuesday ba? Tuesday, right? And then, magkakaroon tayo ng consultation on Tuesday in preparation for your long quiz on Thursday. So that would be your formative assessment. Tapos pagka Friday is i-discuss natin yung solutions sa inyong formative assessment. Because on week 5, you will be having your exam. So as much as possible, i-review nyo na lahat yung lessons ha. Para on Tuesday, ma-raise nyo sa akin ano yung mga hindi nyo pa naintindihan na parts or if may confusions pa kayo. So we can address it. Any questions so far? People from online, meron ba kayong questions? If walang questions, that's it. Mag-attendance na lang ako, then you can go. Yung online is Gonzales, Soliano, Abarca, and Dalit. Thank you, class.